The success of any kind of operations depends a lot on how good is the logistics planning before embarking upon a operations. And I think the same goes when we work out our war plans, and that is what our doctrine also speaks a lot about. How well do we plan out when we are going in for an operational uh, eventuality? What is the kind of stamina that we have? How much can we last? How long can we last? How will the spares fetch up? How will the armaments fetch up? All these small things become very important in the planning stage, and they determine most of the times the outcome of wars. You look at the Ukraine and Russia war today, it is finally going to boil down to who's going to outlast the other person.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, in fact, I was just going through certain articles. The chief of air staff was on record saying that logistics is going to decide the fate of wars in future, and the same thing was echoed by the army chief. And in no unequivocal terms, one can say yes, logistics is going to be a very, very critical factor as far as any warfare, future warfare outcomes are concerned. Now, in line with this, now entering an era of joint mentorship, integrated theater commands, and now there is a talk of having a logistics, tri-service logistics command. So, any light you can throw on this?
I was very privileged after my CSD tenure. I got exposed a lot to General Bipin Rawat at that time, and thereafter he became a CDS. I was involved in a lot of preliminary discussions when the theaters were being discussed. I'm talking of the period between 2018 and 19. And as you very rightly said, apart from the 5 or 6 operational commands that are going to come out, I mean, we are still waiting for the final these things. But definitely, one of the 3 support commands is going to be the logistics command, is what was in the original plan of scheme of things. Now, apart from the logistics command, there is also going to be a very strong joint logistics establishment within the 5 operational command. Let's say you have 3 army commands, 1 Air Force command, and 1 naval command, as is being talked of now.
Yeah.
All the 5 elements will have an integrated logistics command, integrated logistics function, which will operate through they are calling it JLN, Joint Logistics Nodes. So they're going to be set up in various parts of the country, and there are a lot of common areas that have been shortlisted. For example, armament, for example, clothing, for example, rations, for example, procurement of a lot of common spares. Let's say we're talking of helicopters, we're talking of MiG-29s. There's so many, even radars for that matter. There's so many common spares that Army, Navy, and Air Force are using. So what happens is these JLNs will then be jointly manned by the 3 services. And well, you never know what will happen in the future. We could possibly end up wearing the same uniform, the same ranks. Anything is possible. I mean, I don't want to venture too much
These
into
are
the future, but
conjectures
that
at
is
the
what
moment.
is
Yes.
that is what is jointness being spoken about. Let us see how things evolve. It may take a little time, but the thought process is very clear that we would like a joint effort as far as logistics is concerned. Because if even if 50% of that happens, it will result in a huge cost cutting and will improve our efficiency in reaching across to the final user.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm sure it is going to also ensure in a lot of savings in terms of when these things are stored separately in Army, Navy, Air Force, and they will perhaps be a common pool from where you can draw or position them.